With every breath I take all of my days, I will glorify your name.
Parents, welcome to another episode of The Journey, a podcast intended to educate, equip, and entertain you as we talk about important issues facing our families. PCA is a Christ-centered, biblically based, and family-focused community of committed believers doing life together. We hope the information you hear on this podcast informs and inspires you to be a better parent. Welcome to The Journey.
You're going to tell us when to turn around?
Okay, dude, there it is. Recording has started. Hey, parents, welcome back to The Journey. This is Dan Panetti, and I've got four fantastic friends. We're going to talk about Christmas, because next week is actually Christmas. And so I have Gabe Boyd, Amy Petroff, Kristen Dysart. We had done a book discussion, so I appreciate you guys hanging out and having another discussion. And we're going to air this the week before Christmas. And so I wanted to talk just about Christmas traditions. What do you and your families do in preparation for Christmas? And I wanted to talk about not just the things that you do, but kind of the why that you do them, right? Why do you do these things? How do you keep Christ in the center of Christmas when, I'm just going to tell you, so much about Christmas is commercialized, and it's so easy to get lost in kind of the season that we forget the reason for the season. I don't know if you guys want to start, but we can just start with decorations. Okay. When do you put up decorations? What kind of decorations do you do in your home? And what kind of things do you do in terms of, traditions that really are fun for your family, that kind of keep Christ in the center of what you guys do. So Kristen, you said you don't put up Christmas decorations until after Thanksgiving, right? What kind of decorations do you do in your home?
So we, and I will admit, sometimes we start getting them down, but yeah, we try and do Thanksgiving and then Christmas. I would say we have all the traditional, like we have our tree, we do all those things. I would tell you, I probably have more nativities than Santas. That does not make me like holier than thou. I don't have a lot of Santas unless it's been given to me over the years. And then we are big Reliant K Christmas album. I mean, this is old, but it's good stuff. So the kids know if the Reliant K Christmas album is playing to come and join and decorate the tree. I will admit, I decorate the base of the tree because I get to, and then they add their ornaments afterwards.
Very good. So. Awesome. Amy, what do you guys do in your family, decoration wise?
I think it's pretty traditional with our trees. I will say we have multiple trees. It's kind of grown through the years, I think, because our family loves different things. We have a kid tree that has gotten bigger over the years, where it just has all the really awesome ornaments that the kids have made, the ones that people give you when they're born. Just really fun, nostalgic type things. We follow through the years. Like if one of the kids was really into Star Wars that year, they have like they get to pick out an ornament each year. So it's been really fun to have that. I love a white light tree, and my husband, Emery, loves colored lights, and it's just more fun. And so we have two different trees.
A his and a her.
A his and a her tree. Yeah.
So we do that kind of stuff. And we, the kids love, when, like you said, when we put on the music, and they just get really into it. And they love the nostalgia of pulling out things that they remember from when they were little and they haven't seen it all year. And even my oldest will really get into it and be like, oh, I remember that. I love that. It was fun. Yeah. So that's about.
Gabe, what about your family? Is it, I know it's a sorority house with four girls and a wife. So is everything just pretty in pink, or is there anything kind of masculine going on in your house for Christmas?
Oh yeah. Well, listen, I mean, we chop our own firewood. It's nothing but flannel. I mean, long johns, it's the whole bit. I mean, if you're going to wear a beard like this, it's got to have some manliness to your winter.
Amen.
All kidding aside, we're very similar. We have a kids tree that has all the things. We love that. This year's a little different than most years in that We have split personalities in a sense from the bottom floor to the top floor. So we're doing Thanksgiving at our house this year, which is kind of new. And so downstairs is very much fall Thanksgiving themed right now. However, upstairs, the kid tree is already up. The Christmas decorations are already out. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. It's kind of cool, but it's something new that we're trying this year. But for the most part, it's all pretty much the same. We don't have a ton of decorations. But we do love, I love that everybody has like their own Christmas playlists. I don't know that I can like pinpoint a Christmas playlist, but I know that it's already started. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's so good. Well, we've got Trisha has an older brother and a younger brother that live right here, and so we always share kind of the hosting duties of whatever the different holidays are, and a lot of the Christmas Eves have landed on our house, and so we have the normal decorations. But one of the other things we do is we host the nativity play that the kids used to do. And a couple of years ago, we moved from the nativity play, and just understand there were 10 of the grandkids' cousins, and so they would, somebody would be Mary and Joseph, and somebody would be the lambs, and somebody would be the angel, and we did that for years. We loved that, and then all of a sudden, the kids got a little too old for that, and we moved to kind of a family talent show. And that's where our kids got upset because they're like, Dad, we don't have any inside talents. So apparently, our talents are all outside talents. And other families have inside talents, and they can do things that you can do at a talent show. And so our kids, anyway, kind of fun. Other things in decoration, though, I grew up going down to New Mexico every year for Christmas, and I love luminaries. Now, our family doesn't do it, but if you've ever seen the little bags with the candles in it, anyway, I think it's a great kind of tradition. Anything with light. Is always a reminder to me, right, that Jesus is the light of the world. And so I love, Amy, you can tell Emery that, right, Jesus was not the red, white, and blue lights of the world, right? He was the white light of the world. So you're probably more biblically aligned than where he is. But lights around the house, we love that. Trisha would not like me to tell you that I have left our Christmas lights on the outside of our house. And so she's like, why can't we take those down? And I'm like, because they're too hard to put up, and I'm too old to put them up there every year. So we're that family. What about food? Do you guys do kind of traditional foods? Are you guys, Gabe? You said you're hosting, right? What are your Christmas food activities look like around your homes?
Christmas foods. So we don't have the gift of baking as much in the Boyd house. It's just not really something that we do, but I know there were some traditional foods that I grew up having. And so there was always like your standard, like breakfast casserole on Christmas morning that we've got to do. My mom always made sausage balls that were just kind of like this never ending snack around winter time at my house. I don't know how they just kept appearing, but they just kept multiplying. And so every time I turned around, there was more. And so we've tried to keep some of those things. And it's so funny because those things are always so good. We're like, why don't we eat this all the time?
All the time.
I often get requests like, will you make some sausage balls? I'm like, they're just not as special if they're not consumed around Christmas. I don't know why that is, but yeah, I would say that's kind of the two that come to mind first off.
Now, what about, so not being from the South, I came down here and I realized that tamales, huge Christmas tradition. And then fruitcake and pecan pie. So everybody for that, Kristen?
No.
What are your food things?
So, well, I would be more of the baker than the cooker. So, like, I'm more like the sugar cookies, and I believe in fat sugar cookies. Like, they should be thick, and then you should have real buttercream icing. Like, that's how we do ours.
There you go.
My grandma has always made, or she used to always make candy cane cookies, which is like, it has an oatmeal cookie, and it has the icing, has the mint on it. I don't know that my kids love them as much as I do, but in fairness, I didn't like them when I was a kid, and I like them now as an adult because they taste good with coffee.
Yep.
So, but yeah, we do tamales on Christmas Eve. I feel like Christmas Day is pretty traditional, a turkey or whatever it is, but we're more about the baking. And there's always snacks, to Gabe's point. Like, you just eat the entire month of December. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Petrov, you guys are from the Northeast and came down here. So did you bring any food traditions from Pennsylvania?
I don't know if they're food traditions from up north, but it's just something you're used to, right? I don't know. We do a lot of cutout cookies, and they're real thin. They're almost like sand tarts, I guess. Do you guys call them sand tarts? I'm not sure. But they're dainty. And then they're really difficult to kind of get them up and onto a tray. But once you get them on the tray, that's when you decorate them. You put the the butter on it, and then you are putting all the sprinkles and all the things. So we're wonderful.
I like that.
Yes,
Yeah,
they're
I like that.
they're kind of labor intensive, but the kids love decorating them and they love eating them more. So I think that was my grandmother's recipe. So I always enlist my mom to come help us because she moved down. She couldn't be away from us for too long. She and my dad moved down from Pennsylvania when we had right before we had our second kiddo. So she's been around to help with all of that fun. And then we do in the mornings on Christmas morning. I love a breakfast casserole, but for whatever reason, my kids, they love monkey bread.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of our super treat for breakfast. I'm telling on myself that's all sugar, but I let them have that for breakfast, and they're like, "We cannot wait for the monkey bread, Mom. We can't wait." So, and to your point, why don't we have it during the year? It's just not as special, I guess. And I, quite honestly, I don't want to fill them full of sugar all the time for breakfast.
That's right. There's something about Christmas. We are, so I'm not a coffee drinker, but I love hot chocolate. And so Christmas is when I do they make the hot chocolate bombs. I don't know if you guys know. So Emily Mason's a 6th grade teacher here, and she makes those. And she'll get me a couple that didn't go well, so she can't sell them. And I'll get those. But I put those in my hot chocolate maker. And it's got a hot chocolate little bomb, and then it, pops apart, and it's got mint in it, or it's got some sort of flavor in it. And I'm telling you, hot chocolate to a whole nother level. So I love those. What do you guys do for exchanging gifts? Is there a particular thing? Do the kids come down, sit around the Christmas tree? Everybody goes in a particular order. Is there one gift that each kid gets? So I know some people who do, right? They get their gold, frankincense, and myrrh gift. Right. So they get, one gift that represents this, or one gift that represents that, and then one big gift that's the gold gift, whatever. Do you guys have any kind of gift thoughts?
Gift thoughts.
Well, we do a Christmas Eve where they open up a gift, and then everybody gets new PJs, and generally they would be a theme. I think last year might have been, what was last year's? Abominable snowmen type thing, or Yetis. So everybody had some version of that, which is always interesting to try to get 6 people's thing to kind of coordinate. It's kind of like family pictures. Oh my. And then in the morning, it's funny, the kids, they kind of know the drill. So when they come down, they have to come get us first, and then they have to do a repeat down the stairs so that I can film them.
Yep. Brenda, get back up.
Go back. I gotta film it. And so that's always fun because we've been in this house probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. I guess 7 years. And then they'll want to go back and see the videos of other Christmas mornings when they come down and how little they were and their cute little matching PJs and all that stuff. And then we do stockings, and we go in order. And so everybody has to learn patience, and we go youngest to oldest. So we just kind of just circle through.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Gabe, any kind of gifting kind of things that you guys do?
Very similar. PJs on Christmas Eve. The whole finding 6 of whatever is, it's it takes a special person, and it's expensive. Anyway, it's wonderful. It's a great tradition we do on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas morning, the girls are going to come down and get us, and then we're going to go back upstairs because we usually do gifts upstairs. And once we get in there, it's just a free for all. we're not learning patience. We're not teaching. There is no sanctification happening in that room at that time. It is pure joy and excitement. Christmas style.
That's right. Great.
Yeah,
Hey,
there's
Grace.
paper flying. There's stockings, being ripped apart everywhere. It's amazing. It's a party.
Yeah.
As it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually with us, when we're opening gifts, I always have, this may sound kind of crazy, but I would always have the knife to open
Yes.
things, right? Because you always need the knife. And then as the kids got older, they would want to open it themselves. And so it always became hey, Dad, throw me the knife. Hey, Dad, throw me the knife. And so just understanding, when you've got paper flying all over the place, we've got knives and scissors flying all over the place because we have 3 boys and everybody wants the knife so they can open it themselves. And then nobody closes it to throw it to somebody else. We just toss it open. So yeah, if you ever see us running to the emergency room on Christmas morning, you'll know why. Yeah, you'll know what happened. Other family traditions that you guys do during the week. We tried to kind of incorporate ice skating. Like, hey, it's Christmas. Let's get the family together and go ice skating. Found out our family's not great at ice skating. We'll try to grab a Christmas movie, get the whole family together, go watch a movie. What do you guys do during kind of that, that 2-week time period that are kind of family traditions? Kristen?
Same. Christmas movies are always a thing. And
Yep.
you do like a good theme or something like you said, like the hot chocolate. We're gonna watch this movie and have hot chocolate, or we're gonna watch this movie and everyone gets their own popcorn or whatever it is. So we try and do things like that. I was gonna add to the PJs the night before. We were similar, but we had a Hot Wheels car in there because when the boys were little, they were like, "Really, Mom, PJs? How's that a gift?" So they kind of, it's not just the PJs, it's a Hot Wheels car. And so now I've got a little girl in the
Keep
mix,
going.
and we're trying to get her excited about a Hot Wheels car. So, and my husband also thinks he needs a Hot Wheels. Anyways, all that to say, but yeah, the week up, I would say, just because depending on schedules, it's just a lot of family time. It's baking, it's movies at home. I don't feel like we get out and go. Younger me would have liked to go to the mall and make those memories. I like my house. We can make memories here, So,
Is there a particular Dysart Christmas movie that like is your go-to movie?
No, we like them all. I mean, I think we made a reference to like Buddy the Elf earlier. Here's the thing: I love the Muppets Christmas Carol. Like, it's like one of my all-time favorites. And my youngest is, well, not my youngest boy is terrified for some reason of. I'm sure it's the ghost at the end, whatever. And so he thinks it's like the worst Christmas. So I'm like, I'm scarring him. I'm like, we are going to watch it. You will be part of the family. So anyway, I love them all, but that's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Muppets Christmas
Petrovs, have any family movies that you guys watch? Christmas movies?
Honestly, we love them all. And quite honestly, even, some of those cheesy little Netflix Hallmarky type movies.
Sure. Yep.
We'll watch some of the girls will watch it and be like, okay, let's all just pause this for a moment. We all know that those two are going to get together at the end and all, so like they even recognize it at age 11, but you know what? It's still fun to watch for me. I don't care.
Yeah. Gabe, I'm assuming that Die Hard is not the theme, the Christmas movie at the Boyd house.
I just had a conversation with somebody about this the other day. They were trying to convince me that it was some Sandra Bullock movie, that it was a Christmas movie. I don't remember which one it was, but anyway, I was like, I guess you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
And just because it's based around Christmas time doesn't mean it's a Christmas movie. Anyways, no, we don't watch Die Hard in my house. Can you imagine with all my girls? They'd be like, Dad, that's enough.
Dad, yes.
So from an early age, I was all the Charlie Brown, like Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas. So we have to do that. My dad to this day still will text me when on regular cable television Rudolph is played. He needs to make sure that I know when Frosty and Rudolph are played.
Yes.
Those are good ones though.
We just bought all the DVDs back in the day, and so we still do those. And so I try to go like nostalgia wise back to my kid days and share some of these old things. And of course, my kids still watch all the Netflix ones and all that kind of stuff too. So but I love to try to go old.
I love it. The last question is, how do you keep Jesus as the reason for the season with your family, right? How do you weave the story of Christ into what you do? I know church is such an important part of it, right? Being able to
Mhm.
do the Christmas Eve service, and I love our Christmas Eve service, so it's a beautiful, beautiful time. But just anything else that you guys do that just helps the kids really focus on Jesus and his birth during that
I
time.
don't I don't know if it really helped. Well, the intention is to help and get it. So before we get to opening Christmas presents on Christmas morning, we read the Christmas story, and
Yeah.
that's what was always the tradition for me growing up. We did have some heart checks on that because one year my oldest wanted to read it because he could read it faster than
Yeah.
another kid, so like, oh, you're missing the point. Like, if we're just going to speed through it, then,
Yeah.
but it is sweet that for the most part, it's almost like a rite of passage of
Yeah.
you're old enough, you could read and have your part. And so, I mean, that's not reading it one time doesn't make it, but I just love that we intentionally pause and try and have some really good conversations before they rip into everything else. But yeah,
Amen. Yep. Gabe, anything with you guys?
Yeah, I actually want to. This is nothing that we do, but it's actually some members at our church. Uh,
Hmm.
we've known them for about 4 years, and every year I can almost bank on sometime a week or 10 days before Christmas. I'm going to get a text from the husband, and he's going to say, "Hey, we're headed over to your house with cinnamon rolls." And this has happened,
oh,
guys, for the last 4 years. And what's really incredible to me is that how intentional this family has been with their kids and setting some of those traditions. Because when and their kids are still pretty little. Their oldest maybe 9, and so they have I think 3 kids. And so when they first started this thing, it was all car seats and boosters, to the point of when they got to my house, only the husband would jump out. He'd kind of give the
Yeah.
cinnamon rolls
Otherwise,
over.
it's 30 minutes.
Yeah, and it
yeah.
was literally just a quick exchange, and like I could hear kids crying in the back, but like their whole thing was they were going to go deliver all these cinnamon rolls and go look at Christmas lights. And they started this when their kids were really, really little.
Cool.
They're still doing it, and obviously, like now, the whole family will come out. We'll visit on the front porch for a while, and not to mention the fact that their cinnamon rolls are homemade from scratch and like unbelievable. But never mind that. The important thing that has amazed me about this particular family has been their consistency and their intentionality. But what I love even more about it is that they're modeling for their kids that this particular season is not about the things that we get, but how we can serve, like what we've received, right? And so even in just thinking of the Christmas story, that like that's the whole purpose of celebrating Christmas, that God gave us a gift by sending his son, who would live a perfect life, who would die death that we deserved, so we might experience salvation and forgiveness of our sins. So there's like this beautiful model that they're portraying for their kids of like servanthood and giving of what we have for the good of others. And so I just love that. I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, man, I can't wait for those cinnamon rolls. But two, what a sweet just discipleship model that this family's created through this really kind gesture of just serving the people that they love.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful picture. Well, you guys have been great to share some of your Christmas stories. I want to see pictures of all the pajamas and whatever you guys do. You're right, Gabe. Finding 6 of anything anymore, right? 1 is hard and 2 is expensive. So good luck to y'all. But just from our family to your families and to really all the PCA families, we just wish you guys a Merry Christmas. And we will look forward to seeing everybody in 2025. What a blessing to be doing life with you. And I just pray, as you guys have said, Christ is the reason for the season, and what a blessing it is to be walking with him. And so it's a blessing to be walking with you guys as brothers and sisters in Christ, and being at a school where we can celebrate and elevate Jesus and put him in his proper place. And give him the worth and the glory that he is due. So hopefully you guys have a great Christmas, and we'll see you in 2025.
Thank you for investing the time to listen to this episode of The Journey. Please take a minute to share with friends and family who will also benefit from this valuable resource. And don't forget to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast app. It is truly our blessing and honor to walk with you on The Journey.